We are in Warner Robins today with Marvinlee, where those in attendance took a little time this M.L.K. Day to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Thank you for receiving my call today. I come not as a partisan, but as a preacher of justice and a citizen of this great nation. I come with a burdened heart, also with unshaken hope. I'm not here to question your motives, but to question the motives of a societal structure. From America's very inception, the plight of the Negro people has been that of unfathomable horror and atrocities. In 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. It was freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and the rains of heaven. It was freedom without a roof over their heads. It was freedom to no food and to no land to cultivate. Furthermore, it was freedom and famine at the same time. So the nation gave its slave no land or nothing to get started with. But at the same time, America was giving away millions of acres in the West and Midwest, which means there was a willingness to give white peasants from Europe an economic base in which to get started with. Yet, it refused to give it black peasants from Africa who came here involuntarily in slaves and had to work for free for 240 years without an economic base to get started with. Throughout our sojourn in America, there has been and still are hurdles in the way of the Negro people. To sit at a lunch counter, we had to die for that. To ride in the city buses here in the South, we had to die for that. To sit on a toilet or get a drink of water, we had to die for that. To vote in our local and state elections, we had to die for that. To get a proper education, we had to die. For job opportunities and fair housing, we had to die. There have not been one war fought at home or abroad in America that the Negro people did not participate to fight for the freedoms that we so enjoy today. But American soil is soaked with African blood. I'm reminded of a time I was driving down Georgia's highway, and my daughter asked a question. She said, "Daddy, why is Georgia clay so red?" I did not answer, but I had a thought. And the tears began to roll down my face. I went home that night and I went to the Lord in prayer. And I simply said, "Father, don't let it be." Yet there are some who say, "Why don't you all just work harder?" I think if you was to search the annals of history, Mr. President, You will find a people that has not worked harder than the Negro people here in North America for what they so rightly deserve. History has erased some of the great accomplishment of the Negro people, but burning of books to hide their history can then not erase the spiritual greatness that permeates throughout the Negro people. It can't be held down. God made a promise to Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. And he shall serve them, and they shall be afflicted for 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. With all due respect, Mr. President, we're coming to get our substance. Some may say that that scripture does not pertain to the Negro people. But as we so often hear from those that are in law enforcement, we fit the description. The nation often reflects the face of its leader. You have been given the loudest microphone in the land. There is anarchy in the streets of America today. I would respectfully ask that you use your voice and your platform to bring peace, fairness, and justice to all Americans in this great United States of America. I thank you for listening, Mr. President, and may God bring you peace and blessings. Jesse, I know you out there listening.